Hey everyone, I'm Eric, also known as EMC150, or just EMC for short, and welcome back to another episode of The Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 2. Now we got the lightsaber, or Reaver. Last time I said that on purpose, this time it actually just came out. We got the light Reaver at the end of the last episode, and so now as we've seen getting out of the Light Forge, we now have the means to actually use these crystals. So we're going to use this to our advantage, and we're going to go back into the stronghold, Mobius' stronghold. Is that actually what it's called? Well, the Sarafan stronghold. That's where we're going, and we're going specifically into the Mobius' second time chamber. So let's go make our way there. I remember there being enemies here. I really remember there being enemies here. I'm kind of surprised there isn't. And so, you're going to give me some health back. And you think you're something. You're really not. Like, honestly, what? Okay. Raziel, you have a problem with your sword. It's kind of in your arm. That isn't normal. Alright. That was... that was kind of weird. I've never seen that before. That's actually kind of funny. Oh, wow. To arms! The unholy ones approach! So I mentioned that there are no outright boss fights in this game. Ooh, I'm surprised I dodged that, and of course I didn't dodge that one. Why would I? So the majority of the supposed to be more difficult or sort of boss-like encounters that you get in the game are things like this, like a larger number of enemies or particularly aggressive enemy, and it's a little bit of a disappointment to me. But I still, overall, it doesn't ruin the game. So, not to say that room I just finished was supposed to be like a boss encounter sort of thing. It's just like right off the bat, hey, there's 3 enemies and you have to go through them to continue. They've done that before, but the more boss-like encounter sort of thing, you'll see them coming up, I think, in the next area. That we end up in. It'll be something a little more akin to a boss fight. There'll be like some really powerful enemies. Oh, come on. And this guy's getting a little aggressive on... Where did you come from? Alright. I don't know why I bothered sucking that second soul up. Do you have a cannon? No, that was supposed to be a throw. Ah, of course you'd move. Ha. I'm actually surprised that... Oh, you do have a cannon. Oh, you both have cannons. Alright, are we going this way? I believe we actually are going this way. Yes, we're going this way. I was wrong. We are not going that way. Alright, I can see a soul over there. Why are you not moving towards me? Of course. What? What was... Did he just... Did he seriously just hit me in his, like, completely spectral, you can absorb me form? I didn't think that was possible. Alright, well, we're going this way. Oh yeah! I actually remember this now.
Show yourself, Kain.
Here, Raziel. Everything is decided here. You cannot comprehend the magnitude, the rapture and the tragedy of this moment. And yet you must, if Nosgoth is to be dragged from the wreckage of its damnation.
I understand only this, Kain. That you and Mobius have impelled me to this moment simply means I can trust neither of you. I don't know who's pulling the strings, but it no longer matters, because I'm cutting them. I set my own course from here.
If it were only that simple.
Your fatalism is tiresome, Kain.
And profoundly ingrained, Raziel. You must understand, our presence here doesn't alter history. You and I meet here because we are compelled to. We have always met here. History is irredeemable. Drop a stone into a rushing river. The current simply courses around it and flows on as if the obstruction were never there. You and I are pebbles, Raziel, and have even less hope of disrupting the time stream. The continuum of history is simply too strong, too resilient. Except, then how do we explain William here? The beloved boy king turned tyrant. In my youth, I witnessed William's rise to power and his transformation into the nemesis who laid waste to Nosgoth.
Keep your distance, Kain.
Years later, I stumble upon a chance to journey back in history, unaware that the entire affair has been carefully orchestrated by Mobius. In my wisdom, I seize this opportunity to murder the young king before he can ravage Nosgoth, and thereby provide the catalyst Mobius needs to ignite a genocidal war against our race.
I warn you, no further.
This one reckless act unravels the skein of history. The nemesis never becomes the nemesis. William dies a martyred saint. I, the vampire assassin, become the author of my own species' extinction, and Mobius profits from it all. I destroyed a tyrant only to create one far worse. But how can it be so? How, if history is immutable? The answer is here in this room, Raziel. Mobius propelled William and me together, but ensured first that we were both armed with the Soul Reaver. The Reaver is the key. Two incarnations of the blade meet in time and space. A paradox is created, a temporal distortion powerful enough to derail history.
Is this your sorcery?
Not mine, Raziel. Yours. You have nothing to fear from me, Raziel. You hold all the cards.
Then perhaps I should test your sincerity. If what you say is true, You should be terrified. I could kill you here and now.
And so you do, Raziel.
What's happening?
We're hurtling towards our destinies, Raziel. What you feel is the pull of history rushing to meet us. This is where history and destiny collide. If you truly believe in free will, Raziel, now is the time to prove it. Kill me now, and we both become pawns of history, dragged down the path of an artificial destiny. I was ordained to assume the role of Balance Guardian in Nosgoth, while you were destined to be its savior. But the map of my fate was redrawn by Mobius, and so in turn was yours.
This is madness!
Fight it, Raziel. This moment does not have to be an ending. It can become a prelude.
I can't.
You can, Raziel. Look inside and see that it is so. You have the power to reshape our inevitable futures. Poor William.
What is this?
History abhors a paradox, Raziel. Even now, the time stream strains to divert itself, finding its old course blocked by your refusal to destroy me. The future is reshuffling itself to accommodate your monumental decision. This is where we restore ourselves, Raziel, and reclaim our intended destinies. It may yet be possible for me to assume my role as Balance Guardian and return the pillars to their rightful inheritors.
To the vampires. And this is the destiny you have urged me to discover. I don't know what game you and Mobius are playing, Kain, but I refuse to be your pawn. Unlike you, I still revere whatever shred of humanity I've managed to preserve. You will not use me as the instrument of your messianic delusions.
Very well, Raziel. I'll not ask you to trust me. Your truths are for you to discover alone.
Humble words for one who presumes to teach me a lesson at every turn.
And continue your journey and learn your own lessons, Raziel. Remember, Mobius led you here, but you walk away unfettered. A champion of free will and conqueror of false histories. There is much more for you to unearth, if you have the heart for the truth and the will to see it.
History abhors a paradox. I like that line. I liked it the first time. I like that every time I see it. Every time Kain shows up, it is just awesome, if you ask me. Which, by the way, Kain is looking a lot less like a villain now, isn't he? I think this is where we want to be going now. But yeah, like I said, the story in this game, it just starts getting better and better. Was that a bat? I think I just saw a bat. Yeah, that was a bat. And this is a gravity-defying halberd? Sure. Or maybe it's not a halberd. That's definitely not a halberd. That's just a poleaxe. I don't know what to call it. That's not a bardish, but you hearing me through the door? Makes sense, but oh yeah, you're right beside me. Quite literally, right beside me. Ooh. Yeah, that overhead slam, that is the heavy attack with that weapon. There is no combo, it's just a single hit. And see how much more powerful this is now. And look at the energy surging through that now. Like, I really like the changes, like the mechanical changes to the Soul Reaver that they made. Like, that is just cool. And you can just build it up on your own. You can just like run around, swipe repeatedly, and it'll build up. Actually, the sound effects to it too also change. They get a little more aggressive sounding as you attack. I think I'm going the wrong way. I don't know if I'm supposed to be up here. I think I'm supposed to be down. Yeah, I'm supposed to be down. There's another door down here that I can take. Came in that way. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is, I think this is it. If this is not it, then I'm an idiot. No, this would be it. And give me my health back. There we go. There's probably like two or three enemies in here. Oh, or more than that. Ooh, that is dangerously close to devouring me a little bit. It's actually not that dangerous if it does get to that point there. It doesn't hurt you that much that quickly. But it is something to be careful of if you're low health and you're attacking and then you hit over that threshold. Yeah, it can end up getting you, killed in this body anyway.
Seize him!
Yeah, and it was draining me during that little cutscene. You could maybe have heard the sound effect of it going off. Well, hello. And there it is. It doesn't drain you that bad for that long, but I actually find it funny that I killed him through the door. I didn't think that was going to work. Yeah, but for how long that thing actually drains your health if you let it go up, I think it has to do with how much meter that would have filled up. So if you're almost at that point where it's going to start draining you, and like you kill an enemy, yeah, I think it's going to drain you for longer. Like for the amount of time it would take it for it to what am I trying to say? Like to degrade out of that sort of thing is by how much I don't know. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm just not good at saying it. I can't English today. I can't put like process thoughts and speak. But this is what we were here for.
Ah, yes. I like that look on your face, Mobius. You really don't know what to do now, do you, old man? Here you are, caught without your damn staff. I suspect things aren't progressing quite as you'd hoped. You're not used to the fly turning to confront you in your web, are you?
Kain's devious influence has poisoned your mind, Razio. Now you see betrayal everywhere, even in your closest allies.
We were never allies, Mobius. Conspirators, perhaps. Briefly.
Why did you not kill Kain when you had the chance? He was at your mercy.
Precisely. I had a choice, and I chose mercy. And now I know your sordid little secret. The significance of that displacement I felt when the two Reavers came together. Strangely enough, I was enlightened by the devious Kain, not by you. In fact, I've learned much more than you counted on. I understand now how you've tried to manipulate all of history for your own personal gain. But now all your little schemes are whirling in ruin around you, aren't they? All because I chose to exert my will for once, rather than obey the demands of sorcerers and spirits and demons, all singing the same tiresome refrain, "Kill Kain." I'm setting my own path from here, Mobius. I intend to discover the truth behind all of this.
But you condemn us all with this impetuous act.
Hardly impetuous. It took all the will I could muster. Has my refusal to kill Kain reshuffled your carefully stacked deck of cards?
You really think that you're exercising your free will, Raziel? You're simply Kain's servant.
I do not serve Kain. I merely did not kill him.
Raziel, do not forget your purpose here. You are destined to be the savior of Nosgoth.
Oh, I'm sick of hearing that particular phrase. As for saving Nosgoth, so far I see precious little reason to bother. And I'll choose my own purpose from here on out, Time Streamer. Right now, I choose to manipulate you for a change. Go. In there.
What are you doing?
Come, Mobius. You're a cunning serpent. You'll piece it together, I imagine. This era is of no further use to me. You will operate this device to provide me passage. I want to see the world in a simpler time, before the Sarafan began their crusade.
And what about Kain? You're leaving your core behind.
You kill him if it's so damned important.
You need only touch the two poles of the switch, and the device will transport you. But I urge you to reconsider.
You've lost your powers of persuasion, old man. Rot here and forget me.
That's not a good look. Ah, Raziel, when will you learn? Never trust a time streamer.
Even as I emerged from that infernal time-streaming chamber, I suspected treachery. The stronghold was vacant, derelict, abandoned.
Oh! These guys don't look like any vampire I've ever seen before. So perhaps they are something different. I'm actually not entirely sure what these things are, to be honest. I don't know if we ever find out in this game. Possibly do. But they disappear like vampires. But like every other enemy in this game, they don't seem to get back up, sort of thing, if you you leave them. So it makes me think that they're not actually vampires. And let's see, we're at just about 25 minutes or so, roughly. So I think actually this is probably a good time to call it. We are stuck in the... Well, we're not stuck in the past, because this is definitely the wear and tear and decay in this place definitely suggests that we're well into the future. So I suppose we'll find out a little more about this era and where we are and what's been going on in the next episode. So until then, yeah, I don't know what I was just about to say. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care, you hear?